Welcome back. In this video, we will learn how to insert a node at a specified position in a linked list. A little recap. In the previous video, we learned how to insert a node after a given node regarding the data inside that node. For example, we used 78 here and we use the temp pointer here to find out the node in which the data part is carrying 78. Now, if it matches, then temp stands there and insert this new node after that specified node. So we have used 743 to make the temp point to the first node, and after that we moved the temp pointer over the list to find out the node where the 78 is actually residing in the data part. So we wrote here temp equal to temp next, and before moving the temp to the next node, we checked whether the temp x, where the temp is actually standing, is matching with the data. If it matches, then we wrote temp new next equal to temp next. That is, temp next is this part. So this will be loaded with m new next. So m new next is this part. So we write 478, and as soon as 478 is written here, the null pointer vanishes and it starts pointing to the node at 478. Now temp is standing here, so temp's next is 478. Now this next pointer should point to the new node at 197, so that this becomes the second node and this becomes the third node. So we wrote temp next equals to m new, because m new is carrying 197. So 197 will be copied to the temp's next pointer here. So it has been copied 197. So as soon as 197 is here, so this link breaks and this new link has been established. So you see that this one is first node and next is at 197, that this becomes the second node. This is a new node here you have inserted, and this one has become the third node, because after this second node 478 is here, that is this node, right? So you write a break statement so that the movement of the temp stops here. Now look at this scenario here. There are 4 nodes here and star is pointing to the first node at 743. Temp is also pointing to the starting node at 743. We have written the same code as before. A little change is here. You see here there are 2 variables, user pose, that means the user's specified position where actually the user wants to insert the new node, that is in the first position or the second position or the third position, like that. And here the temp pose variable is tracking the position of the temp in the list. So whether the temp is at the first position, whether it is in the second position, like that, right? Now we have initialized a temp pose equal to 1. That means already we initialize the variable of the position of temp is at 1, right? Now you see that temp equal to star. Now if temp is null, then the list is empty, and that's a normal business we have used several times. Now it matters with the else part. The temp is not null, that means there is a valid list there and star is pointing to the first node of that list. Well, if user pose equal to 1, That means the user has inserted 1 here. That means user wants the new node to be inserted in the first position. So this one will be in the second position and this one will be the new first position holder. Right? So we write mnew next equal to temp. So temp is at 743 and user pose is 1. So the mnew next, that is this one, is loaded with 743, right? So you load the next pointer of the mnew with 743 and the null pointer here vanishes and it starts pointing to the node at 743, which is the first node. Now as soon as this node starts pointing to the first node becomes the second node and this one becomes the first node. To complete the job, your start will now point to the mnew. So the 743 will be replaced with 197 and as soon as 197 is written here, this link breaks and this link has been established. So we clean it up and it will look like this conceptually. Now let's get back to the previous scenario, and now the position will be specified more than 1. That means user wants to insert the new node in the second position or the third or the fourth or the fifth, like that. So we write else if user pose greater than 1. For this, we have to run a while loop where the condition will be temp not equal to null. So you want temp to visit each node in the list. So you write temp equal to temp next. And whenever you are writing temp equal to temp next, your temp position will also get increased by 1. Because in this program, we are dealing with position. So we have to keep track of the temp's position. Now before doing that, there will be the if condition here, that whether the temp position is one step behind the user position or not. For example, user wants to insert the new node in the fourth position, that means here. Then temp must be here in the third position. If the user wants this new node to be in the third position, then temp must be in the second position. So always keep the temp one step back than the user's position. So whenever you get this favorable position, that temp's position is one step behind the user's position, then you should write like this, that mnew next equal to temp next. So mnews next will be the temp's next position, and temp next equal to mnew. And of course, you write the break here to stop the movement of temp. Now do not worry, I will explain this code with an example. Suppose a user gives 3. That means the user wants the new node to be inserted at the 3rd position. That means here. So naturally, your temp will be standing over here in the 2nd position. That is one step behind the user's position. You see these two variables? The temp pose is 1 now and the user pose is 3 now. Now you check, temp pose is 1 and user pose -1 is 2. So it is not matching. So the if condition does not fire. Then what you should do? You move the temp to the next node. So load the temps next, that is 478 inside the temp. Like this. And as soon as 478 is here, so this link breaks and this link is established. So we see that temp has moved forward by 1 node. And also you have to keep track of the temp's position. So temp pose equal to temp pose plus 1. And now temp pose becomes 2. Now you get back to run the loop again. Why? Because temp is not null yet. Now temp pose will become 2 now. Now 2 is equal to 2 now, so it matches. So if condition fires. And within the if condition, what is written? mnew next equal to temp next. So temp next is 521. This will be copied to mnews next over here. Right? So you write like this. Now as soon as you write 521 here, which is the address of the 3rd node, the mnew next will be pointing to this 521 like this. The next code is temp next equal to mnew. The temp's next pointer is also pointing to the 521, but it should not. It should point to the node at 197. So this 197 is with mnew. So copy the mnew's value, that is 197, to the temp's next pointer. So 197 has been copied. And this link breaks and this link established. And there is of course one check that suppose the user's position is say 10, but there is no position 10 here, then the temp will jump out of this linked list without any valid node or without any valid position, or user may enter some negative value, say user position is 0 or -1 or -2. For these things, you give a check here and write invalid position. That's all. So we clean up and we will conceptually visualize what is the final look of the linked list, and it will look something like this. Now the new node has been inserted in the 3rd position. So this one was at 3rd position, now it is at 4th position, and this one was at 4th position, now it is at 5th position. So we have learned how to insert a node by a user specified position in a linked list. In the next video, we will see how to delete the first node in a linked list. Thank you for watching and take care.